Am I the asshole for refusing to unblock my ex when my partner demanded I do so? Yesterday, I, 32 female, woke up and made my partner of 6 months, 31 male, and I breakfast. We were having a great morning. I ended up spilling most of the food on the floor, but we laughed while cleaning it up. And there was enough left in the pan to make him a plate. Totally fine. I don't usually eat breakfast anyway. The problem happened after he finished breakfast and took a shower. Once he came out of the shower, I made a joke, and he responded with a serious comment. I replied that it was just a joke, and I started laughing. He completely turned defensive, saying he wasn't in the mood for laughing. He has had something on his mind, and he needs me to provide proof. He proceeded to demand that I unblock my ex to send him a message, proving that I wasn't still talking to my ex. I was suddenly sick. I didn't want to unblock my ex to open that can of worms, so I held firm with a, "No, I'm not going to do that." He started threatening to text my ex, as apparently he has gone through my blocked numbers and saved my ex's number for a rainy day. I started shaking because he was demanding that I text him or my partner would cancel the lease and leave me. We just lost our pregnancy, so I said, "What if I was still pregnant?" And he responded with, "Then I would be stuck." He was very intimidating with words and actions, so I ended up unblocking my ex and messaging him, to which my ex never responded. Am I the asshole here / am I overreacting? I feel like I should leave. The physical aggression and intimidation is very triggering from previous trauma, and I was terrified by how quickly his mood and actions changed. Advice is greatly appreciated. Edit. The joke that I made was about moving in with my female best friend while my partner goes on a 10-day cruise. She is married with 2 kids, with no room to spare, and my partner knows this. In the comments, I'm an NPC, so what says, "Leave yesterday. Sane people don't act like abusers at the flip of a switch. When someone shows you who they are, believe them." OP replies, "Yes, we had a great friendship prior to dating. I feel like our friendship has vanished since he broke up with his female best friend. Not at my request, but I think he finally realized that the married woman that he was best friends was emotionally cheating on her husband with my partner. Thusly, he was also emotionally cheating on me. I never said anything though. He came to that conclusion himself. Yeah, he was cheating and now suspects you are. This won't get better. Run. Please run. You are not the asshole, but you will be very foolish to stay." And OP says, "I recently lost my employment, so I'm in a rough spot. Women's shelter. Now." Makes sense that he's treating you like this when you're particularly dependent on him. If you had cash, you might leave. But if he wears your confidence into a nub, you might never get another job. Then he's got more evidence of why you should do what he says. You've been with him for 6 months, and you're living with him and got pregnant? I'm sorry for your loss, but please, date the next guy for at least a year before living with him and get on some reliable birth control. It sounds as though you were letting things happen, not making decisions that are in your best interest. Back up to the post, there's an update. So I did it. After 4 hours, I asked if I could block my ex again, and he said yes. Later in the day, I asked a friend if she had free time, and we agreed to meet up. After I told my partner I had made plans for the afternoon with a friend, he started screaming at me for spending time away from him on the weekend. He started the physical aggression again, punching the walls and throwing things, and then he told me to get out. He proceeded to lock me out. I don't have a key to the deadbolt, and neither does he, but I heard him lock the door, and then the deadbolt, since he followed me out the door. Within seconds, he then texts me, "Run away and stay somewhere else." But he literally just told me to get out and knows that I have nowhere else to go. All I wanted was to spend a few hours with a friend and get some clarity on our relationship. Update 2. He came home from work last night and took my phone, so I started packing. It wasn't long after that he came back and got physical with me. He grabbed my hair and pulled me around, and at one point slammed me to the ground. I was able to get away, and I ran to my landlord, who then stepped in for a few minutes while he got his things and left. The rent is paid through next month, so as long as I keep the deadbolt locked, he can't come in. I'll update further as I am able. Well, I think this has escalated a bit beyond the "am I the asshole here for refusing to unblock my ex when he demanded that you do so?" Take all the advice in the comments, OP, get as much help as possible to get you out of there, and put as much distance as you can between yourself and him. This is a man that will escalate to the point of killing you, so don't give him any chance to do it, because people unhinged like this absolutely will. This is very quickly becoming a matter of life and death, and I believe that you will do the right thing by yourself to keep yourself safe. And now, on to the update. I'm still in the apartment for now, since I don't have anywhere else to go. Yesterday morning, he came in unexpectedly. It turns out that he had a key to the front door that I didn't know about. He ranted for about an hour while I stayed as quiet as possible. Even without me responding, he was escalating, so I recorded the entire exchange on my phone just in case. Eventually, he calmed down and tried to convince me that we could fix this. He said if he created one more fake scenario in his mind and demanded I prove it wasn't true, then we could finally be done. I told him that I wasn't going to spend the rest of my life fighting with his imaginary thoughts. He left behind a large piece of furniture that he planned to pick up later. Later that afternoon, he came back in a completely different mood, eager to make things work. He touched my arm, and I asked him to stop. He asked if I wanted him to leave, and I said yes, but he stayed for several more hours asking questions about how we could fix things. I treaded lightly so as not to anger him, while still standing my ground. I told him there's nothing left to work on except ourselves, separately. Before leaving with the rest of his belongings, he asked for a hug and said he wouldn't be back. I gave him one last hug, and he left. And now for the final update. Thanks to so much support and guidance, the landlord has changed the locks, installed cameras, and updated the lease so that I am now the only tenant. They've also given me a safer parking area that is under surveillance, which brings me some peace of mind. A police report has been filed to keep a record of what happened, and I've started counseling sessions to begin healing. I truly appreciate all of the kindness and encouragement that I've received. It's made such a difference during this time. In the comments, Danny B says, "I literally just saw your original post and second update 5 minutes ago and came to your profile to try and see if you were okay. He is deeply scary. Stay strong and know that I am proud of you. For not having family, which I understand, not having a lot of options, you advocated for yourself in such a great way. How dare he take his illogical thoughts and ruin your days, your safety, and reignite trauma. Also, he's an ass for the cruise thing, but you can't go see a friend? Okay, he was glad that you were isolated. Thank God for the landlord." OP says, "You're absolutely right. Our friendship took a wrong turn when we entered our romantic relationship. I'm not sure if we can ever rebuild that friendship, but it's probably best that we just move on separately. Thank you for following my story. Beloved, I don't think you want to rebuild a friendship with someone willing to drag you around by your hair. That's not what friends do to each other. Let him go find some other friends. P.S. I'm sorry for being curious, but were you able to get a key for your car?" OP says, "I forgot to update on that. He brought my key back when he took the rest of his furniture. You're right, I do not need his quote-unquote friendship. Good. I'm so glad you have access to your car back in case you need to be somewhere else in a hurry. You're taking a lot of very good steps. Just don't let your guard down just yet. My BFF was in a relationship with a true lunatic for a decade. These types of people tend to escalate until they find a new person to victimize, and I just want you to be safe. And I just want you to be safe as well, OP. You are doing everything right as it stands right now, and I want you to continue down that path of keeping yourself safe and staying the hell away from this guy. You deserve it for yourself, you deserve it for your future, you deserve to be alive and to protect yourself as much as possible." He's enough of a lunatic that he even said out loud, "I'm gonna make up one more crazy situation in my head, and I need you to validate me." Oh my god. He is so past the post of sanity that I don't even know if he can ever come back. That is a truly ludicrous thing to say, and I'm so sorry you had to deal with that, OP. Let's hope he remains gone now that he is gone. Thank you for the post and thank you for the update. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to end today's episode. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.